one of the coolest things about the gym is how I see that a lot of it happens without me. So people have made their own friendships, they've created their own goals, and I've been here to guide the whole time, but we have people that create their own groups of training partners and their own friendships, and have gone on to really do a lot of stuff that's not just me, that's really taken a life of its own. There's kids that have become really good friends with each other from training, and that's something that I think is really special, that it's become something that's so much bigger than me or any one person, but it's an entire community with its own stories being written every day.
My advice is just to not be afraid. It's always going to be scary anytime you enter a new hobby or a new sport. Take that first leap, put trust in Chris and the instructors here, and once you start really getting a hold of the techniques and the lessons that you're learning here, you're going to have a lot of fun.
I was a kid. I always liked seeing, I would see TV commercials about Tiger Schulmans and like a bunch of kids like kicking stuff and doing a bunch of martial arts and everything. I trained MMA for a little bit, didn't really like it too much, and then once I found Garden State Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Academy, it kind of just always stuck with me.
You know, both my two boys train here. You know, I started from my oldest son Aiden, watching him train and grow, and we, you know, it's something we do together, and it really touches my heart to share that bond with them, and you know, we talk jiu-jitsu, and when we roll jiu-jitsu at the house, I'm probably a little more into it than they are, without a doubt, but you know, they both love it, and it's something I share with them. So yeah, it's changed my life as a father, it's changed my life for them. I hope I'm a role model to them, and it's yeah, that's been it.
So I opened the gym in June of 2013 as a purple belt, and then I got my brown belt under Jared. And then a year later in 2015, I got my black belt, and you know, I've just been training and teaching and continuing to grow even after I opened up the school. So opening up the school was definitely not the end of my growth as my own jiu-jitsu practitioner. It was really, and still is really, part of the process, and really just the beginning of learning and developing my own skills. You know, I know as we have a lot of responsibilities, both with work, with family. You know, you gotta do your form for the DMV before this day and send in a check for the mail, for the rent, for the whatever. If there's a space here where we could play the music and you could get on the mats with your friends and you could get an awesome workout and you could stay in great shape and you could be working towards something and forget about all that for a little bit. Creating that space for people is what inspires me, and just hopefully making sure that this space improves people's lives. That's what gets me up every day, and that's what pushes me to grow this place and to try to get as many people as possible to be able to experience those benefits for themselves.
First thing you do is embrace the suck. It's going to be hard, and you're going to be humbled, but just stick with it.
Keep on working at it. It doesn't matter if you win every match or lose every match. You're gonna get there eventually.
Oh man, just stick with it. It's a long journey. It's a marathon, not a sprint. It's a fun time. Just sit back and enjoy the ride.
Your technique's getting better, and you're getting more physically fit, and then it becomes a lot of fun. Just the first initial brunt is going to feel like a car accident, and then once you get past that, it's going to be the most fun you'll ever have.
My advice is just show up. You know, you're going to get smashed. I get smashed every day. I've been doing this for 13 years. I still enjoy getting smashed. You know, eventually you're going to be smashing someone, and you're going to enjoy it.
It's nice being it's fun to see people on the journey that are earlier, and seeing them have the excitement that I had when I was younger, and see them move up and have the excitement of moving up in belts, gaining skills.
Having a place to go and something else to do brought a bit of focus back into my life. And it's helped me find when things aren't clear and when things are unfocused. It helps, I'm able to put my mind right and find the clarity that I need in order to accomplish my task at hand.
There's a quote from one of the guys, and I remember it was one of my first couple months here, and we were talking, he's like, the real jiu-jitsu is after class ends. And like when everyone's just around asking questions and being there and not just coming in and leaving, like talking to people, and like if you're having issues talking, asking questions and saying, can you show me this? And like that helped me build a lot of bonds. And I think that rings true. Like the real stuff is really the hours and time like after class and when you're making those connections.
I was actually in college and I came out of it. I really, wasn't a super positive person. I was really down about what I wanted to do. I wasn't sure about where my life was going. I was very unsure about how I went about my college experience, and I wasn't sure if I had picked, the right stuff.
So when I started here, I was drinking too much. I was kind of lost, drinking too much, not very healthy, and I was really scared to come back to Jiu-Jitsu because I had just moved to the area.
When I started here, I was a bartender. I smoked all the time. It was bad for you, and they literally beat the tar out of me. Pete Zielinski specifically, I really appreciate him for that. And then in 2016, when I found out I was going to be a dad, I picked the cigarettes up again, and then they beat smoking out of me a second time. So I appreciate that.
When I was a kid in college, I was going to punk shows, and I wanted to just punch everybody and get punched and just be in like a pit of anger. And as I, struggled through school, getting through that, and just growing up, I mean, this gym helped me grow up.
I have learned a lot of things. Obviously, my technique, my jiu-jitsu. I've struggled a lot mentally and emotionally, and kind of just like having something to do like that I'm active with, and something that I really like enjoying, like sparring and jiu-jitsu in general. It kind of like, it almost brings me like peace in a way.
I've learned that jiu-jitsu is a very humbling sport. It's really great, like definitely teaches you, even if you're getting beat up and get knocked down, that you could still rise up and learn from your mistakes and learn from getting a little bit of a beating. So it's definitely a good sport.
I leave in the middle of work to come in and teach. If I'm not teaching, I leave in the middle of the day to come in and train. I was here last night, I was teaching. I was here till 9:30. I had to be up at 4 for work. Like this is a top priority for me. So
all these guys have been so patient with me. There's times where I come in and I train 3 months in a row, and I feel like a world champ. And then I stop training for 2 weeks for one reason or another, whether I'm for dad reasons or business owner reasons. And then I come back, and then you got to start from zero, And these guys help me with my breathing, my technique. They're patient with me, and they work with me, and we all respect each other, and I always appreciated that.
Even when you have hard times, even when things aren't going your way. I just broke my hand recently. This place is a place, it's my second home. Sometimes it's my first home. These people are my best friends. I absolutely love the community here, and they pick me up even in the worst of times. So I'm still, as positive as I can be, coming here every day, talking to all my friends, and, hanging out with my family. So this is the #1 place to be.
Because of me talking to Chris and him helping me understand that I don't have to come in full force, I could just take it easy, little by little. I eased into jiu-jitsu, I started losing weight again, and even though I'm still a big guy, I feel a lot healthier than before I got back into jiu-jitsu.
it's just been like a really good group of friends. Like, I don't know, a lot of my friends are from Jiu-Jitsu these days, like, because I spend so much time here. Like, probably like my wedding was like half Jiu-Jitsu people, like, and like my mother-in-law was loving it, and she like kept like getting like all the Jiu-Jitsu people together to like take pictures and stuff like that, and there was like 30 of us there. So it's just been like, there's not like one individual moment that changed my life, but it's just been like a lot of just interactions and meeting people. And
there's good life lessons, there's bad life lessons, there's positive, there's negative, but at the end of the day I try to all mold it together into a positive experience, and you know, it's where I am now.
I think I'm a lot more mentally stable and stronger. Like I said, this here for me is like more like medicine for me. It's really the only hour to 90 minutes of my day when I could put work and family life and everything else aside, and I could really focus on just jiu-jitsu. It really has always been a form of medicine for me, and it's made me that much stronger mentally to deal with everything else that life throws at you.
Never give up. You will always persevere through a struggle, knowing that one thing might be tough, but that you'll get through it, and then just on to the next day. Just, you know, it's the same with having a bad roll. You have a bad roll, that roll's done, you move on to the next. And the same with day-to-day struggles. You have a bad day, you always know the next day is going to be different, and to strive for something else.
So one of my favorite memories from all the years was our trip to Iceland. So that was something crazy, and it was just an idea that I had. I love Iceland. I was able to travel there just through my own personal travels, and I made friends with the people that run the Jim Mjolnir out there. January 2020, we were able to take 40 people to Iceland, and we went from Wednesday to Sunday, and we had the most amazing time. It was really something that was like a year and a half in the making to put this trip together, almost 2 years. And we had snowmobiling trips, we had ATV trips, we went out in the town of Reykjavik, we trained every day, we went to hot springs. And one of the really cool things about that trip and the subsequent Iceland trip and the Puerto Rico trip before that is that people got to spend time with their teammates outside of class. And outside of the bonds that I've made, I saw people make friends with each other that didn't really know each other as much, and now they hang out outside of class. They check in on each other. They're, you know, when it comes to training, they're some of each other's favorite training partners. So seeing how those travels and those experiences training in other places strengthened the bonds on the team and made those memories that are some of the most fun memories. When we had the drinking contest against the Icelandic crew, that was one of the funniest things in my life. And I'm so glad that I got to make those memories, and I got to see so many people on the team make those memories as well too. So it's always a weird question, like, what do you call the people on this team? Are they students? Are they members? Are they family? And the word that I like to think of is tribe. We're like a tribe, like we're like a community where there's so many different roles. There's some people that are more teachers, there's more competitors, there's the kids, there's the people that we're bringing up to be the next instructors. So it's a full like tribe at this academy, and that's something that I think is really cool, and that's the way that I like to look at it. That we're a tribe, and we have each other's back. And if something happened to one of us, we would band together to help that person out, and we help each other achieve our goals, and we help grow the community, and and you know, some guys are like part of a squad. They're going to go out and compete, and maybe some more people are going to hang back and help out with the kids program. And some of the kids are competitors. Some of the kids are leaning more towards assisting with the kids, and everyone has their place in this tribe, and that's something that I think is really cool about our community.
I think it's more than life lessons. I think it's more life itself, right? I've met some really incredible people here, people that have inspired me. I don't think I've been around a bigger culmination of people that are so good-hearted and there. I mean, most people here are honestly my best friends right now, without a doubt. A lot of good people. I think Garden State is more than that. Yeah.
Yeah, I've learned to be patient, and I think most importantly, humble. This has been a really long journey for me. A lot of injuries, work, family, but it's always a welcoming crew here.
I think that I've learned to be more of a mentor. I let white belts beat me. I get beat by blue belts. I let them work their moves. I can be very competitive and make their lives miserable, but I don't. So more of being a mentor and helping the team build and be more unity.
You know, at that point in my life, I was still trying to figure out who I was, which many people do in their teenage years. But I was still trying to figure out who I was, and Jiu-Jitsu taught me who I was.
Stronger, physically stronger. So I've always been like a pretty underweight guy. Putting on weight through my teen years and my young adult years has been difficult, but you know, making physical fitness really fun and engaging, along with really good people along the way, it just kind of happened.
The resilience of keep coming in, you know, nonstop, improvise, adapt, overcome. That's like one of my big sayings. Like, you could work around anything. So
Jiu-Jitsu forges you. A lot of times when you're going through trials and tribulations in life and going through things, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is one other sort of activity that can teach you how to cope with difficulties, make you stronger.
While training Jiu-Jitsu, I've learned that I'm not gonna die, and that I just have to stay calm, and eventually I'll get out of the position. And that's how I describe how courageous I've become because of Jiu-Jitsu and the school.
I pushed myself to the limit. I pushed myself to points where I didn't even know that I could put that amount of effort and that amount of focus, and that taught me more about myself. I learned, you know, what's important to me. I learned what I'm capable of. I learned a lot about different people and so many different types of backgrounds and views and dealing with different people on a team and how to be a better friend, how to be a better student, how to be a better teacher.
I'm very ambitious just towards just being a better person and just building my character up and training hard at Jiu-Jitsu. So it kind of goes hand in hand. Like, training hard at Jiu-Jitsu, it makes me want to just be better in life and just be a better person overall. And I wasn't like that a couple years ago.
You know, my journey so far has led me to lose a lot of weight, to get in much better health. It's not even just like a physical confidence, right? It's confidence in a lot of things. Things that I'm faced with, right? I'm definitely more relaxed now. I can think it through before, you know, reacting to it instantaneously. I take my time. I process, and I think a lot of that is a direct reflection of Jiu-Jitsu itself.
Well, there's probably not that many older females that train. It just seems like a lot of younger people are coming in, but it doesn't mean that I'm gonna, you know, stop training. You know, I'm sore every day. I get beat up every day. But it's still empowering to keep coming in.
I was a kid, and I grew up through Jiu-Jitsu, and through those years I developed. I became a man, and I met a lot of important people along that journey that helped, you know, along with my parents, of course, but the outside of my immediate family, I met many people that became my immediate family as well, if that makes sense. And they helped develop me into the person I am today.
The confidence to me is just being able to know who I am right now, the things that are important to me, you know, my strengths, my weaknesses, the things that I can do for other people and the things that I need help from. So, I'm confident enough that I could rely on a team and I could ask for help. I've become like very sure of who I am, and I just continue to try to become a better version of that every day, every week, every year.
Coming here is like there's always somebody, there's always a bigger fish, and when you come in here, it's always a battle, and it's a very humbling experience when you have to fight those hard battles.
You want to give back to the team. Like, don't just keep the jiu-jitsu for yourself. Don't just be trying to work on your own stuff and improve yourself. Like, you need to turn around and trying to be improving your teammates.
When I started here as a white belt, I was a bartender. Not that it's a bad thing, but I didn't really have a lot of direction in life. And jiu-jitsu kind of helps you just keep working and figure out that put your nose to the grindstone, and if you keep showing up, keep working hard, good things will happen. I ended up transitioning to like a good career in sales. I met my wife, had a family. I went from being kind of a mess to I'm a full-time dad now. It's the best thing that could ever happen. Garden State's a lot to do with that.
I was able to come here and train at peace. I felt like I never had to impress anyone, or everybody was generally my friend. They weren't friends with me because I was better at jiu-jitsu, or I was any social status. It was just I could come home. I can come home, and that's important. You can relax and evolve more in the sport if you can look at the dojo like it's your home.